back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are doing a special episode. This is happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday
to you.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So anyway, this is my birthday week, so this episode will drop actually the day after my birthday. But Nick was nice enough to invite us over to the bunker. We had a few pours, and then we're going to discuss two of what is, I'm going to say, oddly has become one of the more hot bourbons to pick up on the secondary market. We're talking about Bardstown Bourbon Company and a couple of their finished products, and then one of their standard products being the Discovery series. And this is Discovery, what, number 2?
Number 2.
How old are you, Scott? 44 this year?
44.
Damn it, you're old.
I know. I appreciate that.
5 years older than me.
5 years older than you, and we're not even going to talk about Nick because he's just a baby. And then the other one, the Phifer Pavitt Bourbon.
Yeah, I want to say Pavitt until someone corrects me.
Pavitt Reserve.
Yeah, so that is a 9-year Tennessee distilled or distillate finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels out of Napa Valley.
So 9-year Dickel.
Essentially, that's
at least a guess because we don't think that JD leaves much out of their area.
I would guess Dickel. So 9-year Dickel finished in Phifer Pavitt Cabernet Sauvignon barrels.
So let me ask a question because I'm uneducated in some of this. We talked about a couple weeks ago.
You're uneducated about Dickel?
Yes, I am. We talked about MGP, and today we're talking about some Dickel. Are those the two largest sourcers in the area?
So when I do a lot of research on when I try to figure out what distillate is being used besides going straight to the mash bill, because not a lot of places publish what mash bill they use because you have non-disclosure and stuff like that. Typically, I'll say is if it says Tennessee or distilled in Tennessee, I automatically go Dickel. If it says distilled in Indiana, I automatically go MGP. If it says distilled in Kentucky, then you got a variety. Typically, I go Barton as my number one. Like, that's all, where my brain goes. And then I go Heaven Hill. Then I go, like, Heaven Hill, Jim Beam, and then Wild Turkey. So that's kind of where I venture off, just based off of the larger contract distilling and stuff like that. And I know Bardstown does a lot of contract distilling now, too. As does like Castle and Key, and everyone's getting
Wilderness Trail. I mean, everybody's getting into it now.
Yeah, so here in like 3 or 4 years, when it says distilled in Kentucky, it's going to be like a nightmare for me. But for now, I'd typically go like Barton, Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey. Again, depending on how deep probably someone's pockets are, stuff like that, connections.
But, so I was absolutely shocked the other day when we did an episode. I don't know, heck, it was probably like 2-3 months ago where we talked about the Oak Kirk and the fact that was Willet. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy when you sit back and think about it. So,
but, yeah.
Right. So we're starting out with Discovery.
Discovery.
So Discovery is, I think it's about $130, $129.99 for their bottles. I think they're just getting ready to release Discovery number 5. I think it's going to drop based off of social media in the next week or two. They may have bottled it today. They did. Open up their new bottling line. Great tour out there, so shout out.
Beautiful campus.
Beautiful campus. Go out there, do the tour. You can get food. You can sit on the patio. A variety of different experiences. They have Bottle Your Own right now, which is something new they did. The nice thing I like about Bardstown, and they preach this a lot, is they like transparency. So on the side of the label, it should have the 4 or the 3 different mash bills they use. Usually the youngest is their own. And then it says, like, on the top, it should say, like, distilled in Kentucky, and it should, like, have, like, a 74, whatever it is. And then, like, distilled in Indiana, which is, again, your whatever. And then distilled in Kentucky again, which is their own. I know in, like, 2 years, I think the idea is to transition fully to their own distillate. But, again, if you look at the side, and I run different algorithms to try to figure out, like, the overall age. So usually I run this number 2 against the newest number 4, and I think the number 4 is like a year and a half older, just a little older than the number 2. But again, it's fun to discuss and kind of, again, if you're really nerdy like I am, and you like doing your research, you can look at different mash bills, you can look at the numbers and how they blend it. So it's definitely really unique.
So this one's 122.2 proof. It is a blend of 10, 12, and 14-year-old bourbons. It's 44% of the 10-year, which is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. And then it's 39% Kentucky bourbon, 12 years old, 74, 18, and 8. And then it's 17% 14-year-old, 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley.
Yeah. So this is all sourced because I don't think they're that.
I don't think they have anything that's 10 years old or older.
No, I think the older stuff they have is like 3 or 4 years.
So the nose on this sucker, sweet. I mean, it's very sweet.
I mean, I get caramel. I see like a caramel bomb to me. I mean, this is just in your face if you like sweet.
Yeah, it's caramel, brown sugar, creme brulee, a little bit of like sweet pipe tobacco, man, vanilla. I mean, it's got all kinds of sweetness.
It's got that Kentucky hug to it, that's for sure, as it goes down.
It rocks your socks off.
122.2, buddy. That
Holy
grabbed a hold of you, huh?
It sure the heck did.
Talk about opening up your heart. I mean, I'm telling you, that's holding on in the middle of that chest for sure.
And it's long. I mean, it's a long finish, a long burn.
I mean, this is no joke.
It is.
Oh, but damn, that's tasty.
It does have a ton of flavor to it, and it's both up front and finish.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some nice fruity caramel notes up front. That mid palate's full of just vanilla and a little bit of like brown sugar, a little bit of cornbread. Like that mama's home cooked cornbread. It's got a little bit of that sweet char like on the bottom of that cast iron skillet as it comes out of the oven.
I mean, after that initial Kentucky hug, that initial shock, I mean, it's still holding on. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it is.
It cleared the esophagus out.
Now, see, I think it's got a great finish, but like I love high proof stuff. Like I'm the high proof whore of this group, right? Just in general. I mean, even when Matt's around, like I like it hot. I like it fresh, and I love this, man.
I mean, it's good. I think this is one of those like. So when you talk about Bardstown, you got like their Fusion line, which is about $50. And then you go up to the Discovery, which, again, it's another price point. You look at, again, $129-ish. And I think it sat on the shelf for a while. And I think people started, once the snowball kind of rolled down the hill, I mean, it rolled pretty quickly to a point where it's hard to get anymore. You can still find it. It's difficult. I think they still have some of it at the gift shop and stuff like that. But it's not super easy, but it's out there.
So I've had 3 before. But I've not tried 4. I don't know that I prefer this over the 3 or not. I'd like to side by side them just to kind of give it a little bit of a reference. But this is definitely a very tasty pour. And the more I drink of it, that rye and a little bit of that smoky, like earthy tones is in that Kentucky hug y'all are talking about. But it's all sweet up front. And like I said,
a couple drops of water really calmed that burn down pretty quickly. But it brought out caramel notes in it very strongly. It's a good pour. I've never had Bardstown bourbon before.
No, I think they're doing really good things.
Damn, you popped Josh's cherry tonight, man.
Oh, look at that.
And it was a really heavy cork at that, man. Popping corks.
It's a solid quality bottle. I mean, it really is. I love the way these bottles are. They're just heavy and dense and got a little heaviness to them.
The original bottles, I think the first bottles they had were the collab bottles. And those were, I'm telling you think about those glass shower tiles or the bricks.
Right.
With a hockey puck, solid like brass cork. I mean, I swear that thing could is like a weapon. Like you put it in your car, it's like a concealed weapon. So
this also has some great legs to it. And I know you usually talk about the legs, Nick, but I'm more of a boob and butt man. But this has got some nice legs to it.
Nice rich color. I mean,
it is. It's really nice and dark.
This is another one of those. I love bringing Bardstown to different functions and stuff like that because a lot of people, they might pass it up because they don't know a lot about it. It is newer, but again, bringing something that people might not have. I think it's a phenomenal display. They etched in the back, or I don't know if it's like engraved or whatever it is, but they have different things on the back.
And feels like it's painted.
It could be painted. I mean, I don't know. The neck tag, the cork, the quality. I think it's just a classy bottle. I mean, it looks damn good on the shelf.
Absolutely, it does.
Can I use that word?
I guess I'm going to have to buy me a bottle now.
Yep.
So what do I need to buy?
Discovery 4 is the only one you're going to find on a shelf.
So Discovery 4, I've had them all, and I need to get them so we can do them side by side. But usually my top two right now are the Discovery 2, which again you get a lot more of that sweetness to it, so you get those more caramel vanilla notes. I think Discovery 4 again, to me, it is a little older based off of how my calculations work, but you get a little more of the wood notes. So how I tell people, I go, if you like a little more of the wood notes, go to number 4 if you can find it. Number 2 is going to, they're not that old, but it's going to be hard to find. If you like some of the sweeter notes, try to attack and try to find that number 2.
So oddly enough, this number 2, I saw this yesterday at Bottles Unlimited.
Oh, really?
Yep. Sitting on the top shelf.
Not
right
anymore.
Behind the thing.
Not anymore. You just gave it away.
Well, this won't post until Sunday, so.
Okay.
But what he meant to say was not anymore because Josh is going to get it tomorrow.
That's right. So, but the last 2 liquor barns I went to, though, have all had Discovery Batch 4. They've just had it sitting on. It's usually behind the counter, but.
How much a bottle?
I
like
think
$129, $139.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. I have no issues buying this bottle for that amount.
I prefer this one neat, though.
Yes.
The water, to me, it just... I actually think it took part of the sweetness away.
I liked it.
And I think the rye came out. I think you get a little bit more heat on the backside whenever you added the water.
I couldn't handle the heat, but I did like it with a couple drops of water on it. It really calmed the burn down. But maybe the 122 proof just burned it the first time it went down and made it smooth for everything else.
All right. So now we're going to go to this Phifer Pavitt Reserve.
So 9-year Tennessee distillate, a.k.a. Dickel, finished in Phifer Pavitt barrels.
107. Damn, we got some OWA in the house, man.
So I think they labeled this as cask strength, if I recall. I know this is... So they have 3 iterations of this. So the first iteration is 107 proof. The second iteration, which just dropped this year, I think can still be found. It's not totally unattainable. Is 100 proof, and they label that as cask strength. And then they just released... Now, this is sold out, so their single barrel at the distillery, which only had, I think it yielded 215 bottles, I think, is what the manager said. Not a lot. They may have had 2 barrels of the Phifer Pavitt and then one of the Prisoner. But, again, I think they've had 3 iterations so far, so this is number 1. This is the one that came in the fancy-looking box. So for all of them taters out there, it actually had a decent display. It had this leather-looking box. You open it up, had a little information like how they got the casks. And I think they did the dry ice saran wrap and left a little bit in the cask and let it roll around, so you get that Cabernet finish to it. And then they, when they got it to Bardstown, I think they may have dumped that out and then put in the distillate.
So the nose on this is very complicated. Like it's got some...
Really? I was going to say it's very plain.
Really? I get some weird fruit notes, almost like dark fruit, like plum or...
I'm not getting much of anything on the nose on this one.
Huh. Maybe the wine's mellowed it out for you.
I don't know.
Or maybe the 122 going to the 107. Maybe you're just still on that Discovery bottle.
I hear you. We probably should have started low proof, but I guess this one's finished, so... Yeah,
you don't want to mess up your palate with finished stuff, but...
It did have a really good flavor to it, though. I got a real weird... I almost want to call it a sugar cookie on the back end, but I'm not sure.
I was just going to say that. It's so Robin just made these... they're not sugar cookies, but they're almost like cookie dough cookies.
Snickerdoodle or...
No, it's not peanut butter. It's,
you're talking about like if you made chocolate chip cookies without chocolate chips.
Yeah, I forget what she calls them. Gooey butter cookies. That's what they...
Gooey butter cookies.
Gooey butter cake cookies or something like that. She just made some, and that nose just reminded me. And I haven't been in the house for a good hour or so. So
right.
But you get a whole lot of doughy in this finish. It's really doughy. And sugar cookies the only way I can explain it. Cookie dough, and it may not even be a sugar cookie finish.
I'm telling you, it's the gooey butter cookie.
All right.
I almost need to call Robin and be like, hey, can you come back from your studying and bring in 3 gooey butter cookies so we can compare it? I
definitely get what you guys are coming from.
It's like a cake batter type of yeah. I guess that's more if you don't know gooey butters, I guess gooey butter's more like cake battery ish.
It's almost like I want to scrape my tongue a little bit here just because it gives you that dry mouth feel a little bit with it.
It does. It has you coming back for more. I mean,
it's interesting. I'll tell you that.
I still can't believe you don't think the nose has anything there.
I don't. I thought, and maybe I burned a nostril with the 122 proof.
Did you snort it? And did you get it in there?
It's all Coke, bro.
Did you stick a little in there and rub it on each side of your nose?
Every once in a while, you got to clean the palate.
Man.
Nose and throat.
I think the nose has got, it's got a little bit of caramel. It's got, like I said, almost like a plum or like a really, really dark cherry. But the taste, I mean, up front, it's all like dark fruit, like I said, and I'm picking that up. And it's almost like I said, like cherry or plum or something like that. And then that finish is like
very interesting pour.
Sugar cookie or, something like that. But ooey gooey butter cake or something.
And Nick's over here texting for cookies now.
He is.
Well, I'm actually seeing where she's at. She's nowhere close. I think she's out at Prospect, so no hope of getting cookies.
Scott got himself a big old pour of that bottle.
So it's got a lot of.
Well,
it's got some good legs on it.
We go from the mini Glens to and Scott gets like these giant ones. He has it like half filled up. Jesus.
Well, it's his birthday pour. There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
With all fairness, it is kind of a birthday.
baby.
It does have a nice color to it. I think it has a little more. I mean, when you compare both of them, they both have a rich color. Compared to like the other ones, I mean it's a nice dark.
So this is like a rich, like bronze or rich copper color to it.
Yes,
We ought to go out to Bardstown Bourbon for your birthday.
I mean it's a day long adventure. I mean they have the restaurant out there, they have the tours, gift shop, they have the samples.
I'd be down for that, but I don't think my wife would float for that.
I don't know. Last time I was there over the weekend.
We need her to drive.
That is true. She could be our driver.
Minivan.
The swagger wagon.
The grocery getter.
We call it the swagger wagon. Have you ever seen that like Toyota did a whole like mini commercial series run when they let out I think it was at the time it was the year we bought ours, which would have been like 2015, the Toyota Sienna. And it's a really funny like kind of hip commercial, but it's like these two hipster people with their younger kids in the swagger wagon.
You're totally a hipster.
Yeah, I'm totally a hipster.
All that hair on your head.
Most people would say, oh, yeah, when they see me, they're like, oh, that dude's a total hipster.
I would totally say that.
No, you wouldn't. You're full of shit.
Yes.
I used to rock the old grocery getter. My grandma gave me in 1996. I think it was like a Plymouth Town and Country. I mean, we're talking like gold wheels, cassette tape.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I used to rock that for like 4 or 5 years. When I met Robin, I rocked the van.
And she still said yes.
Somehow. The stories
I'm surprised I haven't met Robin yet. I've been here a few times, and I'm almost wondering if she really exists.
You know,
she makes ooey gooey cookies.
Butter cookies, yeah. No, it's funny.
Nick's almost too skinny to be a married man.
What's funny is, so she moved over here about 5 or 6 months before I moved over here. So we came from Kansas. So for the longest time, like
no, wait a minute, I thought it was Missouri. Just kidding.
Borderline. I mean, literally like a half mile from the Kansas Missouri line.
So when my wife ran the Mini, she ran it in Kansas City, and they actually went into both states. Yeah, it was really weird.
It counts for 2 states. So when she came over here, though, it was, do you really have a husband? We keep hearing about this Nick guy, but we never see you. So we always joke around because her schedule is all over the place. My schedule's all over the place. So
all right, I like it. I liked both of them actually.
Did you try it with water?
I did. I tried both of them with water.
I would go both neat, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. The water just seemed to, I don't know, just kind of messed up especially the Pavitt one, the Phifer.
You kicked my butt with 122 proofs to start it, so all good. Good stuff.
Honestly, it's tough to pick between the two because, again, you got the Discovery and then you got a finish one. I think the finish is solid. That Discovery, I think, is a little more attainable. It's not as specialized as the Phifer Pavitt. I'm not disappointed that I have several of these.
I think I agree. I think I'm going to go with the Discovery just because I think it's a little bit more readily available. But the Phifer is really good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not everyday shelfers.
Not everyday shelfers for sure.
Yeah, no, but you can still find them. Like the Phifer is, again, it's a collab, so it's a little more limited. They do like smaller batches. So
did they send those out to Napa Valley, whoever they collabed with?
So my understanding is they hold some back. So I don't know X amount of cases. I know some of like the Mistels and collabs with Copper and Kings, they limit it to about 300 to 500 bottles. I think I saw the run about 1,200 to 1,300 bottles. So again, a little more rare. Discovery is a lot more readily available. They're going to drop number 5. I have not had number 5 yet. I've had 1 through 4. 2 and 4 are phenomenal. The crazy thing is the labels. So the bottle has had consistency across the years. It has this nice big, it's heavy, big, beautiful bottle. The labels have changed. So the number 2 is this like nice, rich hunter green. The number 4 is like this brick color.
Right.
So it's one of those like people get confused. Like,
but number 3 is still like that brick red, is it not? Are they both red?
I
like
forget.
1 and 2 are green, and then 3 and 4 are red.
Yeah, I think 1 is like a little more like it has like a little more teal notes to it.
Do you all need something to do with your time talking about the color of the labels?
Well, I want to explain it to people so that way they can go in and be like, hey, I know that's what it is, because the Fusion's like this blue color. So I get messages often like, hey, is this the bottle? It's like, no, that's a Fusion. That's blue. It's not bad. Again, $50. We can do that another day. But again,
maybe we put that on the
I need to look,
shelfer series.
I need to look for green and brick.
Yeah, so green and brick, and then on the left side of the bottle, just look for the what batch it is. They're very transparent. They're very good about it. They put the batch on it, which I love. I absolutely love the way that they do their labels with the transparency, with the what batch number it is, things like that. So I don't have to Google proof and everything else like that. But I think a solid pour for 129. No ice needed. You can take it. It's not, people probably don't have that everywhere. So I love sharing it.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So
happy birthday to Scott.
Happy birthday to me. 44 years young. Yay.
Yeah.
So if you want to find Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also send us an email at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. If you want to check out our website, you can do that. I'm going to make Josh redo it just so that way it looks better, because right now it looks like trash.
Nope.
Yeah. And then I'm going to make him also do a bunch of videos.
Nope.
Yep. So anyway, this is Scott, Nick, Josh signing off. Peace.